Hello there and welcome to this makeup tutorial on the look I'm wearing here, which is the same one I was wearing in my recent Darlings and Duds video. I promised you all a tutorial, so that's what I'm bringing you today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos in the future. And now let's get started. Please just ignore my limp looking hair. I'm getting ready to film a hair tutorial, so you'll see the finished look at the end, but I already started with some eyeshadow primer. Used the Thrive Cosmetics 360 Eye Lift. I love to use this when I'm doing a hair tutorial because it's waterproof, and just in case any water gets on there, you know. All right, we're gonna go to our palette, and I am going to use just a touch of this shade right here. This is a little bit dark for me, even once I put on my foundation, but I'm just gonna start kind of right at the top of the crease, and then I'll just go real lightly under the brow, and then I'm going to just lightly tap my brush in this. This does have shimmer, but it's not chunky glittery, and I'm just gonna put like this lightest little dust right under the arch of the brow, and that's all. Next, I am taking cues from my shirt here. So I'm gonna go in with this peachy shade. I'm using the Morphe M504 and placing this through the crease. What I love is they gave you this one, which has slightly more pinkish tones, and then the one next to it has a little more yellow. So you've got two options. Now I'm gonna go in with a Morphe M433 and more of that same shade. And I'm just going to now work this down towards the outer corner and the lash line. I have a plan in mind to kind of keep this look a little bit lighter. The other look I did with this palette was quite dark and dramatic, so just kind of wanted to give you another option. Let's deepen the outer corner just slightly. I'm going to go in with the shade on the Morphe M433 and going to just lightly swirl this in the outer corner. These shadows are pigmented. They are a little bit on the powdery side, but the pigment does stick well to the eyes. So I have not had any issues with performance of these shadows. Okay, now I'm going to switch to a really small brush. This is the 204 from BK Beauty, and I'm gonna go in with this really dark brown shade, and this is going to kind of just give us a little bit of a shadow here on the lash line at the outer corner, make the lashes look a little thicker. I do plan to use just a little bit of liner too, but this is going to kind of soften the look of the liner once we put it down. All right, now I'm gonna go down to a very tiny, slightly fluffy brush. This is the Angie Hot and Flashy A504, and I'm going to tap into the black and a little bit of that dark brown. Tap off really well, and I just want to really diffuse this color in the outer corner. So it's not really dark out here, but I do want a little bit of kind of a cooler shade here in the outer corner than what I've got going on. And then I'm going to go back with the M433, blend that, and I'm going to go with a touch of that shade we put kind of right along the brow bone. Just kind of lightly go around and kind of diffuse that. All right, let's have some fun on the lid. You know, the shimmer is my favorite part. We're going to go in with this shade right here, which is a really cool peach, kind of icy peach shade. And even though this is kind of going over where we put that color at the lash line, it's okay. It will come through. All right, I'm just going to place this all across the lid. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this shade right here, just right as we start going to those outer corner shades. All right, now that we have some of the product down, I'm going to take this brush. I've coated each side of the brush with one of those shadows, And now I'm going to take some setting spray. This is just the one from the Stay Spray from Tarte. Tiny little sample. Wet that brush really well. And we're going to go just lightly tap over those shimmer shades on the lid. Flip the brush over and tap. And you can see it just creates more of a wet, smoother look. So there isn't as much kind of just sparkly glitter. It's still there, but it's more of a solid pigment there on the lid. And then I like to go back one more time with my finger in each of those. Just kind of go back and forth between the two and just lightly tap on right before that dries. And there we go. Once that's dried, I'm just going back with a tiny little bit of that dark brown on this A504 brush and just lightly kind of blending over the edges there of that shimmer shade. And then I'm going to go in with the peach shade and just lightly kind of blend all those outer corner colors together. And you can see where I'm holding the brush way at the end, and it just allows you to really lightly touch the skin and just blend everything together. All right, let's head to liner. On the lower lash line, I'm going to add a little bit of the Stila. This is the Smudge Stick Waterproof Eyeliner in the shade Spice. And this is, if you saw my Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale, this is just a really nice, unique kind of, I would say burgundy brown. It's such a pretty color. And I'm just going to use a little tiny bit of this in the outer corner and then smudge it in. And what I like about this is it has those reddish tones that really bring out the green in my eyes. Very subtle, very subtle. You're not gonna look at it and say, oh, she's wearing red liner. But it's amazing what a reddish brown color does for green eyes. And then I am going to take a tiny bit of this on this inner part here. And then work it out towards the outer corner. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to stop going into the lashes as I get closer to the edge, and I'm going to not wing it out, but I am going to bring that line up, and I'm going to stop right where the fold of my hood starts right there. So I'm stopping right there. I've been doing this lately and I love the effect. It kind of just makes it look like there's this lift there in the outer corner. It's a lot easier than doing a winged liner. All right, I know this looks a little crazy. I went ahead and applied color corrector and concealer under my eyes, but I haven't applied foundation yet because I want to show you the Dior Forever Matte Foundation. I have the shade 2.5W. Normally, my favorite brush to apply it is my BK Beauty 101 brush. This is so dirty though, so I'm gonna try using the Luxe 680 brush. We'll see if this works similarly. But I went ahead and put 2 pumps out on my little pad here, my little palette, I should say. And the key with this foundation is you want to go with as little as possible. And so I like to just really lightly spread it out. Now, as you've seen through the whole video, my face is very, very pale compared to my Sunless Tanner. So that is why my foundation shade looks darker than my face, because I want to match my Sunless tanned body. So, all right, this brush is working okay, but I think I'm gonna switch back to my BK Beauty. Just please forgive how dirty it is. What I love is the tip of the bristles at the top help you kind of distribute the foundation. And then because it has denseness here, you can just kind of press that into the skin. And you'll see in a moment just what a great job this does at blurring, pores and texture. Okay, so now that I've gotten that all blended in, while this does say it's a matte foundation, as you can see, I feel like it's a little more of a natural finish. I don't feel like, even after this sits on the skin, I don't feel like it dries down super matte. And depending on what you put underneath it, it can really change the finish. All right, I'm going to now go in with the NARS cream bronzer, and I have the shade Laguna 02. It says original, and I'm using the BK Beauty 107 brush. This is just such a nice cream bronzer, and you can see I am tapping in because I don't want to disturb the foundation, but look how easy that was. I mean, just tap, 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 and it just really melts right into the skin. It's so nice. For blush, I'm going to start off with the Kiko Velvet Touch Cream Stick Blush, and this is the shade 02. Such a pretty, just almost golden peach color. It does have a little glow, but I don't feel like it has any glitter particles or anything. This is a really nice formula, really easy to work with. And again, as you see, it's just blending right in, melts right in. It doesn't disturb the foundation below. I'm using the Luxe 522 tapered highlighter brush, my favorite for cream products. All right, before we powder, one more step of highlighter. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter of the shade Fair Light. And I'm just going to put a couple dots of this. Now this is a real muted glow, and it actually does have a little bit of coverage. So if you put this on top of blush like I'm doing right now, you might lose a little bit of that blush color if you go down too low. So that's why I'm gonna just try and keep this right at the tops of the cheeks. And this is a really nice product, and as close as I have ever seen to a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Look how pretty that is. Oh, so nice. And this brush is the BK Beauty 108 brush. Love that. All right, time for some powder. I'm not going to use this powder all over my face, but under my eyes, I'm using the Sigma Soft Focus Setting Powder in the shade Vanilla Bean. This is a really nice powder, and if I wasn't combination oily, I would use this on my face, but this has just a few hydrating ingredients in it, so it doesn't keep me matte through the day, but I love it under the eyes. So I'm just going to use a light amount and just dust this under the eyes. Isn't that so nice? Oh my goodness. Just really blurs that section. And then I'm going to put a little bit here. Those of us who are starting to get those wonderful 11s wrinkle lines right here. I do like a little bit of kind of some hydration right here. I think it helps keep that softer through the day. The rest of my face, I'm using the Honest Beauty Loose Setting Powder, and I've really been enjoying this with this foundation. I'm using a ColourPop Powder Puff, and I'm just going to press the powder puff in the powder, but kind of tap it off and just go lightly first in the areas where I have those larger pores, and then go over the rest of my face. Let's add some bronzer. This is the LA Girl Matte Bronzer. This is Sunset Glow. And sorry, it's really reflective. I'm using the BK Beauty 103 brush, and I just like to really lightly tap in the bottom and the top, tap off, and then very lightly kind of tap and blend towards the hairline. You do not need much of this product. It is pigmented, but it's not powdery. It's a really nice soft formula. And I love the combination of that blush with bronzer over the top of it. As you can see, my mascara and brows are done. I used the IT Cosmetics Brow Power in Universal Taupe and the Merit Brow Pomade in Blonde. And then for mascara, on the upper lashes, I used one of my favorite combos. It's the Origins Underwear for Lashes Primer and the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. And my lower lashes, I just totally spaced using the Maybelline Snapscara Waterproof on my lower lashes. But I have used this in some videos. It's amazing, but instead I used the Tarte Tubing Mascara. This is kind of a new one, and I've just been in the groove of using that, so oops. All right, let's finish up. As far as the eyes go, we need a little inner corner highlight. So going back to our palette here, I'm gonna go in with this shade and a little bit of the one right below it. So that one we put right under the brow, and then the one right next to it. And I feel like the combination of those two give some nice brightness, but it's not too white. This one all by itself, if you have fair skin, you'll love just that one. But because I'm a little more on the tan side at the moment, the combination of those two is better. I'll use the E30 from Sigma just to blend those into our lid shade. And then just looking at my top, because this is a little more of a pinky corally peach color, I'm gonna add another new favorite. This was not in my darlings video because I had to cut it off at 10, but it is a really good blush. This is from Kiko, the Unlimited Blush, and this is from their regular line, and this shade is 08. It's a matte peach shade, has just those hints of some pink, and paired with that cream blush, the two are really pretty together. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of this, and then I'm gonna take the Morphe M504 and a little bit of that blush, just a little bit, and just going to go lightly through the crease. Let me just show you. This is going to take away some of the yellow tones over here and just tie it in a little better, kind of with our blush color. I primed the edge of my lips with the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, and then I was kind of back and forth. I thought I was gonna use Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Lip Liner. That was just a little too pink. So we're gonna use one from the Darlings and Duds. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 Lip Pencil in Nighthawk, but I'm gonna go in with a real light hand. And then for lip color today, I'm going in with this Catrice Power Plumping Gel Lipstick, and the shade is 020. And if you saw my Darlings and Duds video, you know that one of my sweet subscribers sent this to me, and I just love this formula, the color, it's so pretty. Now here's the finished makeup look. And hopefully you enjoyed seeing all of these darlings come together to create this look. I have really enjoyed all these products. Now, if you did not see my Darlings and Duds video, I will link that in the description box below because I go into more detail of why I think these products are so wonderful. You'll see swatches of this eyeshadow palette. I talk a little more about the foundation formula, all that good stuff. So check the description box below for that video link. Also, if you're interested in how I styled my hair, I think that video should already be up. So I will link that down below, along with all of the products that I used today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.